Yeah, yesterday we discussed about four major functions of material management, which are material planning and control, purchasing, store management, inventory control, and management. But apart from that, there are other functions which we need to give consideration while taking material management into picture. So other related activities carried out by material management. First one is standardization. So what is meant by standardization? Is producing a maximum variety of product for minimum variety of raw material. That is very important in standardization, because what happened, it is very difficult for any company to keep lot of inventory of different parts, then it become a chaos. So it is always advisable you can go for maximum variety of product, but at the same time, the minimum variety of material, parts, tools, and processes is very important. If you want to take an example, what we can say that if you are using a nut and bolt, the size of nut and bolt you are using should be same. So what will happen? The tools required for that particular handling of nut and bolt will be minimized, and how you can simplify that process with the technology that we can study. So that is the basic idea behind standardization. Now, when we talk about second activity is nothing but the simplification. Now, when we can come to simplification, it is something very related to the standardization. But in simplification, what they are saying, the process of reducing variety of product manufacture. They are not saying that reducing the variety of product. They are saying that reducing the variety of product manufacture, and you have to minimize the process or simplify the process of that. Okay. So basic focus is on process. So this we can look into that. Then specifications. Now specification is something like that. It's a requirement of the customer should be very clear, and we need to fulfill that requirement, and that requirement is most of the time related to product or from the customer's point of view and
Sorry.
related.
Hello. Hello. Sorry, sir, but slide doesn't change.
Okay, just a minute. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, when we are talking about the specification, it refers basically to the precise statement that formalize the requirement of the customer or what customer want. If you look at the Amazon also, if you want to purchase a particular product, very precisely, it's most of the time mention about each and every specification which customers want to verify. Just like suppose if you are buying a simple laptop, so the specification lies related to size. The size is given. After that, RAM, uh, the capacity of hard disk, which processor they are using, which audio system they are using, what about the camera specification. There are n number of specifications they used to provide. Okay, that specification is applicable to the customer, but at the same time, we need to apply those specifications to the process also, so we can get a foolproof uh, product at our end. Then next activity will be value analysis. Now value analysis is something related to minimizing the cost while doing anything. So whatever cost added due to inefficient and unnecessary specifications or feature, that we can reduce. For that we need to study customer, that whatever specification we are giving or whatever application we are providing in that particular product to the customer is really needed or not. Okay, means really that customers using that feature, and unnecessarily we are putting lot of money, lot of efforts and time to build that feature. So we need to study that. That can be done by customer and customer feedback. Okay. The next related activity will be ergonomics. Now, ergonomics is nothing but it's a human engineering. It's concerned with the man and machine system. Whenever you are handling a product or maybe raw material, at that time, how human machine interface is there, that we need to study. Because if we know that the weight of that raw material is 10 kg and that worker need to lift that to fix it on a machine every after every 5 minutes, then it is very difficult for him. So ergonomically, what will happen? He will get tired. He will start feeling exhausted. So to overcome this, what we can do, we can give him a assistant of machine. So with the help of machine or maybe crank or latch, what he can do, he can lift that particular raw material and fix it on the machine. So that is the basic idea of ergonomics. We need to look in each and every parameter while studying the ergonomic and how machine and man interface can be more synchronized. And the last activity is related to just in time. So just in time is a philosophy which means producing only what is needed. Whenever it is needed, not early, not too late. Okay? Or not less or not more. So just in time is the philosophy which we have studied in the Six Sigma in PIM 2. Okay? So the same philosophy we need to apply in the material management. So what will happen? We will never go with the overproduction. We will never delay the production. At the same time, we are in a position to handle the inflow and outflow of material in a very synchronized or in a very systematic way. So that is the idea behind the just-in-time related activity. So these functions are clear, or do you want
Sir,
to
can you
discuss
repeat
on
the
this?
difference between standardization and specification?
Standardization and specification. Specification,
Specification.
yeah, specification. First of all, we talk about the standardization. Standardization means, as I already told you, if you want to use some of the nut and bolts in your product, okay, and there are n number of variety products. Suppose take an example of Maruti. Okay, Maruti is manufacturing a number of cars. But if you want to fix the tire of the Maruti car, it may be a 800, it may be a Alto, or it may be a any other car, Desire. Okay, but the nut they are going to use to fix the tire or wheel will be same. So what will happen while procuring that material, they need they don't need to differentiate it. They can purchase it in bulk because that material will required, that is the standard material which is required for all the cars which they are producing. And then after that, what will happen? Whatever spanner required to fix that particular nut or bolt hmm, will be same. So what is happening? Just because of standardization, the variety of part or maybe tool is decreased. The process will be more simpler. That is something related to the standardization.
Yes.
Then got it or not?
Mm.
And
Excuse me,
specific,
sir.
huh, yeah. Are you clear on
Ye-
what is exactly mean by standardization?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
The other related, because if you begin standardizing, aren't you in turn simplifying anyway? Because if you start standardizing again, the number of parts which are going to be created are going to be reducing. So,
exactly, exactly.
nay, I'm asking.
Yeah, means, again, repeat the question then.
Uh,
Hello, Divya, you are not audible. Hello. Yeah, Divya.
Hello,
Yeah,
am I audible now?
yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, aren't standardization, simplification, and specification related in a way? Because when you begin standardizing, you're in turn simplifying. Because when you standardize, you're indirectly reducing the number of parts that need to be created. So,
Exactly. So
so
that's
aren't
why
they
it is.
related? Like, you don't need to have three different terms. It just happens indirectly when you implement one part.
When you go for a standardization, the simplification and simplification specification will occur up to some degree. Okay. But when you look at the simplification as a separate entity, that time you may come across some other parameters which you need to take into consideration. Because when we are looking at only standardization, our focus will be on standardization. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
parallelly, we will get some simplification in that. These are, I do agree that these are the simultaneous processes which we need to carry. But when you look at
Mm-hmm.
it individually, you will come up with the better solution. Because
Okay.
simplification has its own criteria, standardization has its own criteria, and specification has its own criteria.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we do in-depth study of these three terminology, and after combining the whatever we get, uh, this can give you a
Uh-huh.
better out. Now clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Next topic is objective of material management. If you look at the objective of material management, the only two objectives are there: material selection and low operating cost. Okay, but we need to discuss this two point in a depth to understand what is exactly mean by material selection. With selecting the specific or correct specification material is not only a material selection. Okay, when we talk about material selection, first, if I say that you need to consider the parameter for design engineer. Okay, how design engineer will think? He may think on the different parameters while selecting. It may not be in the purview of material management, but at the same time, he need to look into all these things and he need to give his proper suggestions related to that. So if you look at the material selection process or what are the parameters he is going to apply, first parameter might be mechanical property. Okay. So the mechanical property that leads you to select a suitable material for a particular application. Okay. It may be a Poisson ratio, yield strength, whatever. So what is the strength of that material? All these kinds of material mechanical properties is going to consider. Now, if you look at the suppose second parameter might be a physical property. Okay. So physical property is like density, what is boiling point, what is freezing point, melting point. These are nothing but a physical property of material. Okay. But again, we need to decide based on the atmospheric condition. What type of atmospheric condition we have. So that is also very important parameter while selecting the material. Third might be a electrical property while designing a electromechanical or electrical system. Okay, various electric property like conductivity, resistivity, permeability, etc. will come in picture. Okay, and that directly influence the engineer for material selection process. If we like to take a example related to this, take winding of motor. Okay, which material you will use? It may be copper or aluminum. Okay. So again, it is depend on what type of application or what is the use of that product. On the basis of that, you are going to decide that material. So it is related to somewhere electrical. And from our point of view, or being a production engineer, the most important parameter will be manufacture, manufacturability. Okay. So what is it means? The raw material you have to select for your design needs to shape as per your design requirement. Okay, because we are going to do some processing on that. in PM2 we already learned what are the different manufacturing processes and what are the limitations of each and every manufacturing processes. So here manufacturability comes into picture. So for example, if I say you need a part to be made by a casting and you then select stainless steel, is it a good idea? It may probably not a good selection. Okay, so that we need to understand that manufacturability taken into consideration. And the last and important parameter, which is very much concerned of material management, is called cost. Cost is the most important factor for every part of any business, and nothing different in the case of material selection, because we are going to consider cost everywhere. So while material selection, cost is going to be very prime parameter. Uh, if you take an example that you can afford to use a costly lightweight composite for suppose aerospace application, which is needed, but not for automobile application because it is unnecessarily going to increase the cost. That we need to understand. So here on this particular topic, the correct specification of material or components is determined. The material requirement is agreement with the sales of assets, and they can be done by analyzing the requisition order of a buying department. Now, what is meant by correct specification? Anybody like to give his view on that? Prem?
Proper selection.
Yeah, proper selection. But of what? Means
Material.
what are the things you are going to consider under correct specification?
Properties of material.
Okay,
The
property.
correct descriptions. The correct descriptions and
If I
According to
say
application.
according to
You and
yeah,
cost.
okay, cost, very good. Acha, okay,
Cost.
if I say quality, do you agree?
Yes.
Quantity,
Yes.
Yes.
in this quantity I required. The color, the technology,
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Color.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
size,
Yes.
shape,
Yes, sir.
maybe
Dimensions.
design, type,
Dimensions.
exactly. Dimension,
Yeah,
size
dimension.
itself a dimension. Okay. So these are the correct specifications should be clearly mentioned. That is very, very important. Now, if you take a example of color, uh, if you want to change the bumper of your four-wheeler, okay, and your four-wheeler is of a white color, okay. So when you go to the shop, which type of bumper he will give?
So please repeat.
Why?
So please can you repeat?
If you want to buy,
White is
if you want to buy a bumper for your car, which you want to change, and your car color is white, so what you will get?
So white color bumper.
White color bumper.
White color bumper.
Exactly. Okay. But
Yes,
your
sir.
friend Darshan have a car which is red in color. So which color he will buy?
Red, sir.
Red.
Red, sir.
Now look at the inventory.
red.
Okay, you are going to shop. You are going to shop. Huh? You ask for red bumper. He says, "Sir, red bumper is out of stock. Can I give you white bumper? Are you going to accept it?"
No.
No.
No, because you
No.
want a red.
No.
But suppose
Mm.
he got the white bumper, but little bit milky or of a different color from your car color. Are you going to accept it?
No.
No.
Depends.
No.
No, nobody
Dep-
like to go with
जर
that.
look change होत असेल तर
It's okay. Means kasa, it is on your personal wish. But
Actually,
in general speaking, we are not going to accept. So
XCP.
Yeah.
what is the cheapest solution for that particular person? So he can provide you the right color at right time to the right customer every time.
Hmm.
क्या solution हो सकता है?
Sir, one more solution is possible, sir.
Hmm?
One more solution is possible.
नहीं बोलो ना.
अगर सर व्हाइट कलर में बम्पर अवेलेबल है सो ही कैन गेट इट पेंटेड ऑफ रेड कलर.
Exactly. But if you go to the shop now, he will give you colorless bumper. Okay. Then he will ask me, he has a colorless bumper in the stock, in the inventory. Okay. And whenever customer comes, what he used to do, he used to paint it of which color customers want. That is the standard procedure adopted from Maruti to Jaguar. Are you aware about this? And that will be the best solution. Do you remember we discussed about the case study of Asian Paint? They are in position to provide near about more than 10,000 shades to the customer. Prem, are you aware about that case study?
No,
How
sir.
they do that? How they do that? Or what are the possibilities? Now, by taking the reference of
They
previous
have the
example.
base.
Yeah, exactly. They have a
Like
base
they had
color.
the base paint which is already present with them, and then as and when the needs arise, they just prepare the like color and then they dispatch
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Asian Paint
They just add the
provided,
pigment into the
provided
base.
the
They add
composition.
Yeah.
Yes, Vaidya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What you are saying?
Sir, they just add a pigment to the base color so that it changes into color we require.
Exactly. They have a composition, and accordingly, if the customer asks, I want that, there are some codes given to those colors. Okay, suppose /112D. So he knows that for /112D, what are the mixture I need to use and in which quantity. For suppose 1 liter, 5 liter, or 10 liter. So he just mix it and give it to the customer instantly. So what is happening? Inventory reduces drastically, and the variety means देखो, Divya, now we can relate. The simplification occurs, and at the same time, the variation in the product is also occurs. Before this idea, they used to provide hardly 20 to 50 colors to the customer. Now they can provide countless color to the customer as per the customer wants. Just because of now they know the composition which can be happen at the vendor side or the distributor side. So that is the basic idea behind it. Uh, Clear on this particular topic? Now there
Yes,
is
sir.
one more.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
one
sir.
more. We are using one more words over here.
Yes, sir.
Requisition order. Are you aware about what is meant by requisition order? At the
No,
PPT.
sir.
On the last line, it is clearly mentioned this can be done by analyzing the requisition order of the buying department. What is meant by that requisition order? Basically, the requisition order comes before a purchase order in the purchase requisition process. Okay, it is an order request from in which one department is asking permission from other to generate PO. PO is nothing but a purchase order. PO is nothing but a purchase order. Try to keep yourself mute. When you want to discuss, you can unmute yourself and then again mute. Okay, so we need to generate a PO every time. It may be if you are asking some material to vendor, he needs a purchase order or requisition order in which all the details of or the specification of materials are mentioned. Even within the organization, if you want to procure or if you want to take some material from store also, again you need to generate a PO. Okay, it's an internal PO. So purchase requisition is there. Means directly they are not purchasing within the organization, but if you want a specification, so that is called as a purchase order or a PO. So with reference to that PO, they can get the required material. So I think that the material selection is the most important objective of material management, and your ideas are clear on this material selection. So we can move to the next point. Nick?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay. Here you are getting everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about Nimesh?
Yes, sir.
Krishna?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Okay, the next topic is low operating cost. Now everyone want to reduce the cost. So we need to understand how we can minimize the operating cost. Now material handling costs are constantly adding up. That you need to understand. Okay? Many businesses leads don't realize that on a daily basis expense coming from many activities basically, and must be keep it control is their main headache. So how we can come up with the solution for lower operating cost? We need to think in a very systematic way, or or you can say that stepwise. First, if I consider handling of material, if I am handling a material, how I can reduce the cost? If I don't touch that particular material, it will reduce my handling cost or not? Yes or no? The handling cost will be zero.
Yes, sir.
Barabar na? Actually,
Yes, sir.
basically, what happened in overhandling material, each time an atom is touched, it's taking employees' time and therefore your money directly. Okay. But each time their materials are moved, maybe stored or counted or stocked or prepared for storage or shipment, it's wasting a little more profit. You are losing profit over there. Because what is happening? You are lifting material from one place to another place. Then somebody asks, "No, I don't want here. I want there." Then again, you are moving that material from that place to another place. Okay, so what is happening? It's the employee time is wasting. Okay, so that you are paying to that employee, or indirectly you are losing or losing a money out of that. So overhandling we need to minimize. So how we can minimize that overhandling? First thing, what you can do?
Inline inventory.
Okay, inline
Storage नाही करायचं material.
काय नाही करायचं?
स्टोर नाही करून ठेवायचं वन प्लेसला.
Perfectly. Because when you are now take good example, store करून ठेवायचं नाही. When she is saying that you should not store it. Okay, this is the general statement. When we are saying that inline inventory, okay, it's a technical term. But how exactly we can implement, how we can do it, that we need to see. Suppose I say you should work with your vendor to see that sorting, inspection, and counting is done at their end. So what will happen? Your handling will be less. You don't need to sort it. You don't need to inspect it. You don't need to count it. So you are not going to touch to that atom. So ultimately you are saving your time. So when you are placing an order or when you are making terms and condition with the vendor, you can tell him that I want in such particular manner, you need to sort like this. The inspection should be done at your end. We are not going to inspect it. And after that, the counting, or if you, I want a box of 50 blocks. Okay, box of 50 blocks. So it should be in a 50 box because this is the requirement at your end. So it makes receiving so much easier if you can rely on this. That is very important. In production environment, as much material as possible should be put straight to the floor when and where it is needed. That is the best idea. As we have discussed in the store management yesterday, so we can minimize the load of store management. So you don't need to keep an inventory of that. As soon as that material comes in organization or in the premises of organization, it should directly go to the production line. That will be the best idea. Agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
So we
Yes,
can
sir.
also use
Yes, sir.
inventory.
Yeah. Then next thing, what we can think about workflow bottlenecks. We can remove
Yeah.
that with a poor material handling. Machining may sit idle waiting for on their raw material. ठीक है? Whereas कैसा most of the workers say, sir, actually I am not getting material just because it is on the previous machine. Okay, and it's in processing. So we need to design that production system in a proper way. That machine should not be idle. It's important that the correct material in sufficient quality be on hand before production starts. That is the best policy. Or what we can say that material handling should flow the shortest path possible. So handling will be minimum. You believe it or not, inefficient operations can cost company up to 30% of their revenue. So those operations need to be studied very carefully. Even processing that involves moving materials from one point to another point or worse, back to the same point twice in the waste of time and resources, nothing more than that. Because some of the operations are not yet done. So again, we do the movement backward. Backward movement, you should try to eliminate the backward movement. Once it's done, it should be go to the next station. That is very, very important. So workflow bottleneck, we need to understand and study on that. Third important point might be damaged material. Okay, material get damaged. When it get damaged, what are the possibilities
Rough use.
material can get damaged?
Mishandling.
Perfect handling,
Poor handling.
or better I say rough handling.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Rough
Because
handling
Yes,
or
sir.
mishandling of
We can
products.
directly can't say that handling is there, but we have decided those handling. But if you are doing that handling roughly, there is a chances of damage or any other point.
Environmental factors.
Environmental factor, or can we say that accident can occur? Most of the time, due to accident, most of the material get damaged. If you observe in your day-to-day life also, आप मोबाइल पे बात कर रहे हो, ठीक है? You are handling properly, you are holding it properly, but somebody comes and आपको धक्का देके निकल जाता है वो, और आपके हाथ से मोबाइल गिर जाता है. So where is the fault? It's an accident or bad handling?
Accident.
Accident.
Accident or combination of two also, because you are not holding your mobile firmly. Okay, there are possibilities. So accident or rough handling leading to breakage the goods in costly overtime. Like other parameters, incorrect techniques, or maybe outdated material or expired material, or inadequate equipment are usually the result. आप घर पे हो, आपको कोई मटेरियल उठाना है, सपोज सिलेंडर, ठीक है. Now most of the people use that rolling disc for the cylinder. That is nothing but the equipment you are using. Agree or not? Okay. The loading capacity of that equipment or that disc should be more than 15 to 20 kg, up to 15 to 20 kg. Okay, na?
Yes,
But if the capacity is late, what will happen? That equipment might be inadequate. So the handling problem will start. So everything that gets damaged, whatever its product loss or equipment wear or turn packaging, is a needless expenses that you need to understand. Like what we can, if you want to take an example, when we are saying that less handling and at the same time not touching to the material. So, storage technique must be in place to ensure shelf rack, as well as they need to consider the, as Shanik said, moisture and temperature level wherever applicable, that we need to ensure. Then every time an atom is moved, there is a chance of damage. But how we can reduce that damage? If you go to the industries, you come across conveyor system, and conveyor system can help to reduce the risk. Agree on this? Because you don't need to handle that material. Conveyor system is designed in a way that that material will move automatically with all safety from one place to another place, and it leads to reduce the risk. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then next point might be poor space management. Having adequate store space is essential. Okay. There are variety of flexible steels construction options like such as taller rack, overhead selling rack, and rising platform. Okay. These are different material where you can keep your material. Okay. Having a utilization of proper space is most important, because every inch of storage space is important and should be examined for way that it can be used and efficiently utilized. That is the basic focus. However, the overuse of space can create traffic bottleneck. Okay, but in general speaking, use more than 25 to 30% of your total cubic space is probably inadvisable. The most efficient use of space will be bring the greatest value in storage cost. So how you are handling it, how you are storing it is going to play very important role. So space management is another topic of discussion, that how we are going to utilize our space. And that we need to study, that we need to take into consideration. Now next is suppose inefficient equipment. If you don't have a equipment to handle the material properly, okay, that might be one reason to increase the cost. Because equipment like for forklift can be useful, but also bulky and expensive at the same time. And if you take a lift truck, cost you money to maintain. So they have their own disadvantage and advantages. So what we can say that the equipment you buy should be closer to efficiency and economy. But still, I will add to it that as well as functionality. That is very, very important. Having the right equipment of the job, such as scissor lifts or smaller electric forklift, can reduce your need for bulkier equipment. There is one terminology. Have you come across this terminology, gravity feed system?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are going to study this in material handling. Okay, this what are the different equipments of material handling and what are the principles of material handling. In the principles of material handling, we will discuss about gravity feed systems. And lighter than the they are lighter than the power driven conveyors also. Then at the same time, the most important solution to reducing material handling cost is to store material where they are needed. Again, the same thing we are talking. Okay, the most equipment or time of personnel are needed for moving material. That is the biggest chaos. So the objective of material management should be focused on the single most important solution should be reducing material handling cost is to store material where they are needed. This is the first thing. Okay. Then second, what you can do that the most equipment, time or personnel that are needed for moving material, we need to minimize as much as possible. It will add to the cost or it will add to profit. Sorry. Okay. Then proper material handling is the most efficient balance of all the above points which we have discussed. Like inefficient equipment should not be there. The good space management should be there. Then uh, minimize the damage of material. What we can do to minimize the damage. Then understand the workflow bottleneck. Try to minimize those bottlenecks. Okay, there should not be any bottlenecks in the production line. That is the basic idea. And the first one is try to minimize the over handling of material. Okay. So this is all about objectives of the material management. There are only 2 points mentioned over here, but at the same time, you need to understand that this 2 point is going to play a very important role in when you look at the material management and you try to understand the objectives of material management.